and delegates sitting here. I am very glad that each and every specialty in pediatrics is growing up in leaps and bounds, and they are attaining a name. Never any specialty, any consultant, whether PICU or other specialty, nephrology now. I've seen that in my branch. I just initiated Dr. P.K. Ruthi some 35 years back. This specialty can't take this load of nephrology. And now Dr. Kanamanand has joined that specialty, and I'm very glad that this specialty has become one of the very eminent branch in the country, not only in Delhi, but in eminent branch. They're among us few here, and now they have started probably fellowship program also in FNB program in physics. So congratulations to Dr. Gupta, because it is his day today, where is he? So it is his day today, and under the guidance of his mentor, Dr. Anil Sadev, I had listened to him about for 15 minutes day on first of the month meeting, and he addressed all the things here. And other present leaders of various department, Dr. Pruthi, Dr. Nil Sadev, Dr. Anna, Dr. all others, sitting here. They are all working in harmonious relationship, and I congratulate you. That to add another to the Gangaram hospital. And I am proud, sir, Dr. Harshvardhan, that you know about Gangaram, so I don't require, but we are making progress not only in one branch, that we are known to provide ethical and quality healthcare to all sections of society, or our equal stress in medical education and research. I can tell you that I am here only because of not Gangaram Hospital, because of Dr. K.C. Mahajan's attachment to medical education, and medical education was something very close to my heart. And that is why we are trying to develop that very fast, and we are now equated with many aids actually. As far, and we are imparting, we have, for the information of senior people sitting here, we have got nearly 276 students, 244 students in 42 specialties, in various specialties where we are imparting post-graduate education. And this institution is the first institution, whenever this examination held, whenever twice you give the students, this hospital is filled within half an hour, all seats are full. And that's the marvelous achievement for Gangaram Hospital. This is all because of the hard work being done with each and every one working in the hospital. With these few words was very tight schedule for Dr. Harshvardhan. So I thank you all to be here.
To bring the delegates, sir, please. Sir. You are our starting sir, and you are our end sir.
इसके बाद दीप दिलाएगा, दीप दिलाना है बस, दीप दिलाना है।
Dr. B.S. Rana, Chairman Sir Gangaram Hospital, Dr. Vyotra ji, Vice Chairman Sir Gangaram Hospital, Dr. Ajay Swarup, Secretary Sir Gangaram Hospital Management Committee, Dr. Jayashri Sood, and our distinguished guests from Mount Sinai, Dr. Vedantam, Dr. Neeraj Gupta, the organizer of this function, his mentors, Dr. Anil Sajdeva, Dr. Suresh, and Dr. Dhiren Gupta, and of course, one of our most revered professional friend, Dr. Subhash Ayadi, who is gracing this occasion, other distinguished dignitaries from abroad, and friends from the profession. Well, I feel privileged to be here in the company of professional friends. It's always a pleasure to have a nice person like Dr. D.S. Rana around. Dr. Ajay Swarup is my ENT professional colleague since the time I started my ENT practice 36 years back. And Dr. Subhash Arya, I remember that when I started my career in the medical association, I think in 87, you may not remember, but 1987, I used to be the secretary of the East Delhi branch. And we had done that in great workshop and published a book on pediatric emergencies. And he was one of the main contributors of that function. And then later on, the Indian Academy of Pediatrics was instrumental in advising me and helping me in taking forward the polio eradication program in this country. So I have so many fond memories of my association with my professional colleagues also, and of course with Sir Gangaram Hospital also. And this is an occasion where I would like to pay my humble tributes to our great medical professional of all times, Dr. K.C. Mahajanji. I think Dr. D.S. Rana rightly remembered him on this occasion. He is the one who inspired many people in the profession, and it's difficult to describe how happy I always feel being amongst medical professionals. All my life I have worked in the field of medical profession, 10 years in medical college, then almost 10 years with the medical associations, and then 5 years as health minister in Delhi, then almost a decade with the World Health Organization, particularly in Delhi and in the Delhi Medical Association. So it's always a moment of health for almost 4 decades. Last 5 years I have been working for science and technology now, earth sciences, and last 2 years for environment, climate change, forest and all that. Health has always been my passion, it has always been my heart and soul, and it has always been my, you can say, something which I always enjoyed, relished to work. And but the last 5 years as science and technology minister, I feel that this has probably been the greatest blessing in disguise for me in my life, and the greatest blessing from our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, because I find that all the good work that we try to do in health, but the high-ended research part of it, it is all happening in science and technology, biotechnology and other fields, and everything else is getting delivered from there to the main medical field for its being used for delivery to the for the benefit of the people of India. So I must congratulate number one Dr. Neeraj Gupta and his team, and Dr. Anil Sajdeva for starting this new department in Sir Gangaram Hospital. New things every day, every time. I've been here for many new things on a couple of occasions. Last time I remember I came to this small auditorium was for that infertility thing. And so Sir Gangaram Hospital, I know it's a very, very prestigious hospital for Delhi and very, very much respected by the people of India. 99% of the calls that I make to Dr. D.S. Rana is not for getting any concession in any bill, but it is for getting a bed in Sir Gangaram. People also call me, sir, please bed dilwa dijiye kisi tarike se. So that speaks, I think, volumes about the hospital and the type of services that you are probably trying to deliver. Allergy, I think I need not talk about allergy because as an ENT surgeon, myself and Dr. Ajay Swarup, we have all dealt with allergies and more particularly allergic rhinitis and vasomotor rhinitis all our life. And in any ENT surgeon's clinic, I think the maximum number of patients, I would say, that may not be the proper way to say, but the real livelihood of an ENT surgeon is allergic rhinitis. And, so many, and now Sir Gangaram Hospital is also trying to institutionalize diagnosis mechanisms for allergy and all. So I did not talk about that because there are so many academic people who will talk about that. But the need of the hour is, I think, for the country, the need of the hour is to deal with allergies that the people have with people, not these medical allergies. And that is, I think, a critical thing to actually handle because everywhere you see that within your own home also, brother will have allergy to his brother, he will have allergy to his. Some sort of allergies are there, and rich will have allergy to poor people. Please leave apart exceptions. So there are all these types of allergies which are already omnipresent in the society, and there is a need for all of us, I think, more particularly the medical professions, to not only be drowned in their own field all the time, but they have to look beyond, because the professionals, medical professionals, they are considered by the society, and we also call ourselves as the cream of the society. We need to be, I think, having a vision about the society and the future of the country also. And there is where our behavior can really, I think, send strong signals and strong messages to the society, which people can also replicate and emulate in their own personal lives. I can, I would only like to share with you, because 5 years now, I've been working with Prime Minister Narendra Modi as his cabinet colleague. We have known him for 30-40 years, but as a Prime Minister, I have known him only for 5 years, and we have been watching his activities, his vision from very close quarters. So he's I would say, he's an extraordinary person with extraordinary abilities, vision, and who looks beyond the next 5 years. Usually politicians look around the next 5 years, but he looks beyond that up to 50 years. And if I say that we probably, India had some sort of a blessing of God in 2014, to have a Prime Minister like Narendra Modi, it won't be an exaggeration. So we are all really blessed to have a Prime Minister like him, who has, I think, in virtually every field he has thought of, who has converted all his ideas, visions into very active, dynamic programs and dynamic missions. And every mission that he has launched in the last 5 years in this country, any one of you can name any mission that you think of and you want to ask me, I can tell you that each and every mission has today not in lakhs, but beneficiaries in crores for virtually every mission. And I don't think we can imagine of a Prime Minister like Narendra Modi. And I tell you that I say that with utmost sincerity and objectivity. And He is the man who has brought a great amount of respect for the Indian community all across the world. I've worked with the World Health Organization for many, many years, used to travel to many countries, and last 5 years also I have traveled to many countries, and I've seen there's a lot of difference between what it used to be earlier and what it is today. I think you leave Pakistan, there is hardly any country in the whole world where India now and Prime Minister Narendra Modi in particular doesn't enjoy the greatest amount of respect and credibility. You look at all these Arab nations, they usually fight amongst themselves. Israel and Palestinians, they fight amongst themselves. They have been fighting for Jerusalem for, I think, thousands of years. But if you go to Israel, the Prime Minister receives the highest respect. The Palestinian give the highest award to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, they have already bestowed Prime Minister Modi with their highest awards. We recently saw the Islamic nations inviting India there in spite of huge protest from Pakistan. The Prime Minister enjoyed the highest award of my own ministry, Environment Ministry, the Earth Care Award, which was delivered by the United Nations Secretary General. And when he said he doesn't have time to go to New York to receive the award, the UN Secretary General was gracious enough. He said, I'll come to Delhi and deliver this award here. So I organized a function for him. And we all know about the recent Seoul Peace Prize that he was bestowed with. So he is the one who has, I think, worked wonders for all of us. And the amount of compassion and sympathy that he has for the mankind, which is still deprived of many basics, that is something to see. Unless you see that in his moist eyes many times, which we have seen ourselves, it's difficult and very hard to believe. And all these programs that he has developed for the poor people of India, they are all born out of that compassion for human beings and more particularly for Indians. And he's now working on a new dream to deliver a new India to all Indians by 2022. An India where the future is far more glorious than its already glorious past, where everybody has a smile on his or her face. We are able to wipe out the miseries of every suffering human being in India. We have adequate facilities for nutrition, education, and health for every child, and we can protect the self-respect of all senior people, women. And today being International Women's Day, I would like to congratulate the women community. We have only Mrs. Sood on the dais, a couple of other doctors are also there. The type of programs that he has developed, even for the women scientists, is not the occasion or the place to sort of elaborate on all of them. It's extraordinarily exemplary. And today itself is talking from, right now when I'm talking here, he's talking from Varanasi about all those great things. And then we have recently seen the amount of valor that he possesses. We used to have all these terrorist strikes earlier also in this country. We can never forget what happened in Taj on 26th of November 2008. We still remember Kasab and all those. But nobody ever had the guts to return back in the same strength. What has to be done? And Last 4 5 years, we have seen how smartly he replied to Uri, and now to Pulwama, and whole night he monitored himself. And in 90 seconds, he created a World Trade Center in 2002. It took 15 years for a mighty country like America to actually find out where is Osama bin Laden. And that too, the Americans could not search. That too, only our polio eradication team, which visited their house, could search that there was Osama bin Laden hiding there. And then they could do that only after 15 years. And here it was not even 15 days. So that in fact speaks volumes, because ultimately nothing changes. It's the same Air Force, it is the same pilot, it's the same squadron leaders, everything is same. But the driving force behind them, the courage that they get from the leadership, that changes. And when he did this, it reminded me at least very fondly about my great leader Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who was a man with similar, I would say, mettle, who became Prime Minister second time in March 1998. First time he was only 13 days Prime Minister. And just talking to 2, 3, 4 persons within 2 months on 11th May 1998, he did that great Pokhran for us, which made us one of the top nuclear nations of the whole world. It is not that that nuclear capability was developed only in those 2 months. It was there during the tenure of the earlier prime ministers. It was there with Narasimha Rao ji also. It was there with Dev Gowda ji also. It was there with I.K. Gujral ji also. It was there with V.P. Singh ji also. It was there with Rajiv Gandhi ji also. It was there with Indira ji also. In the 80s and the 90s, I would say immense strength of the inherent patriotism and the feeling for the country. In spite of being a poet, he had the guts to deliver that. So we have been, I would say, we have been very fortunate. We in the BJP feel ourselves very fortunate to have two of our distinguished workers as prime ministers in this country. And I can tell you with utmost conviction that India's 132 crore people are also blessed to have a prime minister like Narendra Modi. So I would request, because now when he goes and addresses professionals, he goes and addresses scientists, he reminds them of their professional social responsibility. He reminds them of their scientific social responsibility, where he wants that the professionals should actually be calibrating all their responses to what they have learned in terms of transferring their knowledge for the benefit of mankind, and to deliver human-centric, people-centric welfare issues, their education converted into people-centric issues, people welfare issues. And this is where I think all of you go ahead with your allergy clinic, but also simultaneously see that we are able to handle the allergy which is prevalent in the society amongst people. Because I have always believed that there are few powers which are unbeatable: the power of truth, power of honesty, the power of love and compassion, the power of karma, and the power of God. So blend all these in your medical knowledge, and see what wonders you can make and deliver to the people of India. So I wish you are able to find some good treatment for your allergens. I can only share that all my life I used to, and that was the most successful thing, was to put a some mucosal. I don't know whether Ajay Surup ever did that, but my great teacher, Professor D.S. Sardana, taught me that intranasal hydrocortisone acetate submucosally, and I have never seen a failure case in my whole life with that. 3 4 weeks, just put that in the So for ENT surgeons, it is a secret that I can explain. And just put that in the submucosal region and 1.25 ml on both the sides. And they never come back to you for many years. Maybe Ajay Swaroop also, if you haven't tried till now, you can also try. So thank you so much. I wish you all good luck, Dr. Neeraj. I didn't talk about your technical allergy because there's hardly any need. All the experts are here. They'll all be talking to you all day about allergy and allergens, environmental, food, skin, this, that. I don't want to talk about that. But I think we need to think beyond all that and now see that we are able to help Prime Minister in delivering a new India to all Indians. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. I now invite all the dignitaries on stage for lamp lighting, an auspicious symbol to mark the positive beginning of this academic feast. Sir, please. I would like to invite Dr. Arya also to join, Dr. Pruthi, Dr. Anil Sachdev, and Dr. Sunil Gombar. Dr. Sunil Gombar is from University College Medical Sciences, head of the department, and he is my first teacher. So it is all because of him that I am here. Sir, please join us. Once again to the dignitaries for taking their chairs for a few more minutes, please. Take the dice, please. Sir, please take your chairs for a few more minutes. We will not take much time. So this third International Conference on Childhood Allergies holds a special place in hearts of the organizing team as it marks the beginning of several firsts. With this conference, we have truly gone international, and not only we have invited faculties, but also delegates from India and abroad. I can never have enough words to thank my colleagues, mentors, especially Dr. Anil Sachdev, and the board of Gritmer to give me the right encouragement and support needed to put my training in the field of allergies to practice. Another instrumental name in achieving the Herculean task, I have already spoken about Dr. Vedantan, the international allergy specialist who is well known across the globe. I will request the dignitaries to officially release the conference prospectus.
लाइव है क्या?
So the course commences from 2020 in a nutshell. The book has been written by me, but I must emphasize that it is a fruit of constant support, motivation and challenges given to me by colleagues, seniors, patients and family members. Especially I am thankful to my father, Mr. Ram Avatar Gupta, who is sitting there in the audience. I request the chief guest and the guest of honor to officially launch the book in front of the eager young minds. Finally, we all are here for the third International Conference of Childhood Allergies. I request the dignitaries on the dais to officially inaugurate the conference souvenir. The souvenir is not only a compendium of competitive posters and papers being presented by the budding physicians, but also summarizes messages and works of the esteemed faculty, both national and international. Thank you, sir. We are extremely humbled by the presence of all in this auditorium and look forward to active participation in the academic extravaganza. I, Dr. Neeraj Gupta, on behalf of PACE, Division of Pediatrics and Institute of Child Health, Sir Gangaram Hospital, would like to thank dignitaries on the dais on gracing this occasion. We are extremely grateful to our chief guest for sparing his valuable time. Sir, we apologize for any inconvenience that may have been caused. We look forward to welcoming you in the future as well. Thank you all. I now request the dignitaries to take part in the audience and request the comparator to take dice and continue with the scientific session. Thank you.